Hello and welcome to Scrolls, except we're not in Scrolls today, we're just talking about Scrolls. Today's video is going to be covering frequently asked questions about the new resource Decay. Now, one of the top questions is what is Decay? Whenever people mention it in chat, there's always a few people who aren't quite sure what we're on about. Now, Decay is the fourth resource being added to Scrolls. It's the final planned resource. Once they've got this out there, they're going to start releasing Set 2. And we should see a large amount of variety, especially once, like, there's each resource has a theme for Set 1. Once we've got Set 2 being added, it should mix things up quite a fair bit. And I'm really excited for Set 2, because that's probably when them owls are going to start showing up. But this isn't about Set 2, this is about Decay. Now, Decay is going to be well, you can tell from the name, it's going to be a dark resource. It's going to be kind of similar to Black from MTG. Or Dark from Yu-Gi-Oh! If you need a different example. Now this is the top most asked question. And that is, when is Decay coming out? Now there's an internal target, like just a goal that they're aiming for, but the official word is soon, and they do mean soon. They want it out as soon as possible. Because, I mean, they want to give us stuff to mess around with, and they know that we're waiting on stuff to mess around with, and they're going to release this as one big chunk, and then they're going to go back to their usual here are a few scrolls at a time routine that they used to do during Alpha. Which will be good, because there'll be more content more often. Now, with Decay, there are 6 scrolls that are known, sort of. Well, no, there are 5 that are known, 2 extras that we can speculate, so 7? Now, we'll start with the 5 that are known. We have Bitterroot. This used to be in Growth, but was removed and is now being allotted into Decay. It cost 2 Growth back when it was in Growth, and now it probably will cost 2 Decay. It's good structure. It's got no attack, dash countdown, and 2 health. Its ability is that when it is attacked, the attacking unit becomes poisoned for 3 rounds, so it's got Vitriol Aura on it. It's a structure with Vitriol Aura by default. The problem is that it only has 2 health, so when it gets hit, it will die pretty damn quick. And on the plus side, though, it takes everything with it. Like, a Kinfolk Brave hits this, it's gonna die. If a Kinfolk Veteran hits this, it'll be left on 1 health, and it can be sniped off by basically anything. So it's a good solid turn 2 structure. It's completely denying entire row. I don't think there's anything that can attack profitably into this, unless it has Blood Boil on it. No, not the time for thinking about those sorts of things. Next up is the Infected Gravelock, which is great for all of you who like your Gravelock decks but needed another Gravelock to throw into it, because this guy's cool. This guy cost 2 energy when he was in energy, so probably cost 2 Decay. He had 2 attack, 2 countdown, and 3 health. His ability was that when Infected Gravelock attacks a creature, that creature gets poisoned for 2 rounds. Infected Gravelock can't move. This is the first time that we've seen poison last less than 3 rounds. And 2 is still good, because this guy deals 4 damage whenever he attacks. 2 in the form of his base attack, and then 2 over time. So essentially it's 3 in the base attack, because it'll take 1 damage at the start of the next turn. And then 1 damage the turn after. So, in a way, it's 3 base attack, but it's 2 base attack. I'm rambling a little bit. But now, if you get this out, keep it on the field, and then surround it with Elders and Raiders and Outcasts, it's going to get really powerful. That base attack will be what's killing everything, not the fact that there's poison, but the poison, you can never underestimate the poison. The downside to this scroll is that Infected Gravelock can't move, so it's basically an attacking structure that attacks in a normal pattern, not with a lava effect. So people are going to have to be really careful about their placement of this guy, because with 3 health, he's pretty fragile. He's right below that threshold that goes from incredibly easy, averagely tough, not too strong, not too weak, of 3 health, right up to the basically invincible of 4 health. Because there are so many things that kill things with 3 health. You've got Burn, you've got your Kinfolk Veterans charging in, but once you hit 4, all that stuff just misses. Next up is Lifestealer. This guy was originally in Order and cost 5 while he was there. he has 4 attack, 2 countdown, and 5 health, which already is pretty powerful, especially for 5. He survives a Kinfolk veteran and then kills a Kinfolk veteran. It's quite powerful. He's equal to a Great Wolf with 1 more attack. And his ability is that whenever he destroys a unit, he is fully healed. So he can go from 1 health to 5 health just by swinging into whatever he kills, and he kills most things. He can attack into a spiky unit and not even care, because he gets healed by it. So this guy is a bit of a scary guy to be fighting. And hopefully you can see why. Finally, of the scrolls that were in the game and have been removed, Maya Curse. Maya Curse is an enchantment that costs 1 growth. It will probably cost 1 decay once it's put into decay. And its ability is that before the enchanted unit attacks, all adjacent units take 1 damage. This could be very good with some of the order units where they have to pack together, or maybe it'll be really good with the growth stuff where they have where they've just filled their board. And growth is commonly known for having a lot of weak things. 2 downsides to this scroll, though, is that all adjacent units take 1 damage and the target does not take any damage. That's the biggest problem with Blind Rage also. It kind of puts me off a little bit from using the scroll because I can't kill stuff with it, but I can kill stuff around it, which means that it's very flexible. The opponent can avoid it is possible. And also the fact that it says before enchanted unit attacks, which suggests that when you hit end turn, stuff takes damage and then you attack, which makes it really easy for you to go, right, my countdown's hit 0, I'm going to move everything, attack, and then next turn I'll move back. So I feel it'll be too easy to play around in this version. However, if it's when enchanted units countdown becomes 0, because that way you'll have a penalty for keeping your stuff around your honourable general, because you need his countdown to become 0 to give them the buff. But if they're there when that happens, they'll take damage. Whereas at the moment, with how my curse is worded, the honourable general's countdown becomes 0, buffs all your creatures' countdowns to 0, they move, he attacks, and the Maya curse does literally nothing. So I feel like it's a super easy scroll to play around as it is at the moment. I think maybe that wording change could make it more valuable. Now that's it for the ones that we had removed from the game prior to... Well, they were originally in Decay. Decay wasn't good enough, so they cut Decay, put those scrolls into the other resources, then realised they didn't really want them there, so they took them out and put them back into Decay for the release. Those scrolls we've covered. Now, the next 3 scrolls all came from speculation from a Minecon art panel, where Boma Boy discussed these. And one of them is the Witch Doctor, which, if you look at the Scrolls reveal trailer, you can see the Witch Doctor being punched in the face by an Iron Ogre. So, good times to be had there. And he also said what he does, which is, anytime a unit dies adjacent to the Witch Doctor, it is returned as a husk token. Now, tokens in Scrolls are always other. You'd never get a token that doesn't have a counterpart scroll, like Ragged Wolf tokens are tokens of the scroll Ragged Wolf. Proximity Charge is a token of the scroll Proximity Charge. Ilthorn is, the Ilthorn Seed Ilthorn is a token of Ilthorn. They all have their actual copies and their token versions, so Husk will have to be a scroll on its own for it to have a token that can be made. My guess is the wording will probably be changed to anytime a non-token creature dies adjacent to the Witch Doctor, it is returned as a husk. That way, the husk tokens dying don't get returned as husk tokens, otherwise that would be ridiculous. Now, that's some interesting interactions, because it'll be when a creature with Relentless is attacking through those husks, will it attack into the husk will reappear, and it will kill it? Or will the Relentless creature just ignore it? Because at the moment when stuff like that happens, the Relentless creature ignores the summoning of the new thing, goes to the end of the row, finishes attack, then the new thing is summoned. So that could be an interesting interaction to look into how that works. And the final other scroll that we have some rumour about is there's a scroll coming in Decay that when it attacks, it damages itself. That's literally all we know about it. I'm going to guess it probably has like maybe a ranged attack and deals 2 damage with a ranged attack. It deals 2 damage to itself whenever it attacks, and it has 4 health. But we have no idea. All we know is there is a scroll that will damage itself when it attacks. And that's just what was said in the art panel. I think that's everything for the scrolls that we know for Decay. And now we're going to go on to like the theme, because the theme of Decay and the design principle behind Decay is capitalization on death and making good things out of the fact that your stuff has died. As well as having slow units that are beefy, but they're going to have high countdown quite often. And there's going to be very little in the way of countdown reduction in Decay, so you might have to splash to try and get something like that to work, maybe order for Blessing Paste. Another thing to note about splashing with Decay is that there aren't going to be any memorials in Decay. There will be other ways to get the resources other than factions, but there are no memorials for Decay, like at all. There aren't ones that get you Decay, there aren't ones that get you other stuff, but there are ways to do it, is what I've been told. So hopefully that answers all of your Decay questions. I'm just going to repeat myself, there is no actual release date, but there is an internal target that they're aiming for, and what they're telling the public is soon. So look forward to playing that. I can't wait. I can't wait to give it a try, and I'm pretty excited. I hope you are too. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.